Hi guys, you might have watched the video where I traveled from Cork to Nantes, and today I'm traveling from Nantes to Cork. So I'm not gonna go through the same details because you probably want to watch that video for that, but I'm gonna show you a bit of differences because even though the route is the same, the charge points are not located in the same way. So it's actually going to be a very different charging pattern that I'll have. But let's talk about this. Also, I've got a lot in the car, lots of stuff in the car, so it probably will affect efficiency of the car. We have about 350 kilometers from Nantes to Cherbourg, and then another 250 from Dublin to Cork. The plan is to stop at the Tesla Supercharger in Pontorson, so that's just near the Mont Saint-Michel. It's far from Cherbourg Port, so that's the difference between the way to France and the way back is I arrive in Cherbourg Port without a full charge, and there's no charging facility in that ferry, which is the Epsilon from Irish Ferries. Only the WB8 as the onboard charge point. I'll drive around, I think, 180, maybe 200 kilometers to the first supercharger. I'm at 96% right now. I just trickle charge overnight. Do not do that all the time. Yeah, only if you're doing long distance trip. If you have a Tesla, usually prefer to charge a bit lower. As for the second charge, I'll probably arrive with close to nothing in Cherbourg. So I've got two options. Maybe I'll use if I'm early enough, which could be because I've got 6 hours to get there, so lots of time. I will possibly find a 22 kilowatt AC charge point. Let's see, but maybe not. You know, if let's see it goes, but there is no real CCS on the last 100+ kilometers, so on my not. And the thing is, because there is a charge point, DC charge point on Dublin Port, if really I need it and I don't have enough to get to the Balacola supercharger on junction 3 M8, which is about 120 kilometers from Dublin Port, I'll charge at the DC fast charger from ESB eCars. Let's go and see how it works. So we arrived at the first charging stop, the supercharger on that hotel that you can see on the right hand side there. It's Ibis Hotel. We've done 185 kilometers in a bit over 2 hours, 153 watt hours per kilometer, or 15.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. That's the consumption, and that was quite good. I've done about 2/3 motorways, well, dual carriageway between 100 and 110 kilometers an hour, and 1/3 of N roads at 80 kilometers an hour. And this is slow because this is the way it works in France. Temperature between 10 and 14 degrees Celsius, and zero wind, great weather. As you can see, it's a bit of cloud here, but yeah, it's been sunny all this time, so that's great. So let's see where are the superchargers. I've seen something in the front. I'm not sure how to access it. Yeah, we're in the back. It's really strange. It's like a hotel. It's brand new because it's not even on Google Maps. And we have brand new hotel, brand new superchargers, and we're just a few kilometers from the Mont Saint-Michel, so that's the name of the supercharger, but we'll just have a look there if we can a bit later. Here we are, Model 3 charging already. Here we are, 37%, that's the state of charge when we arrive. And another thing is that the slower it was slower when we drove the last 50 kilometers, so the battery got a bit cold, and so it did precondition before arriving here. So yeah, it looks like we're pulling almost 100 kilowatts now, which seems to be a bit normal. It's I think it's 150 kilowatt at this charging station here. But anyway, it's more than the car can take at this state of charge. We'll do a kind of full charge, probably close to full, because first I need to eat, and then because there's no further supercharger before Balakula Junction 3, basically I'll get up almost full charge. We'll see what we do, if we get an AC charge maybe in Cherbourg or not. Guys, so you can see in the back there the Mont Saint-Michel. We just left the supercharger. I charged it till 96%. It was still pulling 13 kilowatt at that stage. I said, well, I better stay because I'm not going to get it any more than 11 if I charge elsewhere. And I will try to get something close to Cherbourg when I arrive. So I am now in Cherbourg. So we've done 188 kilometers since the Mont Saint-Michel. Average economy 15.4. I didn't go that fast on the motorway because I had some spare time, but didn't have enough spare time to get a top up in Cherbourg. But you know, if I had like an hour margin, I would have just stopped in one of the standard charging points around here. There's quite a few around, and they cost 5 cents per minute, so that's about €3 per hour. So that's quite reasonable. So I'm at the check-in now. That's the first Irish car I can see now. It's really strange. There's really few people boarding today. Usually you would find a lot of Irish trades on the motorway, but I haven't seen anyone. So it's definitely going to be an empty ship. I have 35% battery. It's not going to be enough to go from Dublin Port to J3. So probably I'll calculate that tomorrow morning, and probably I'll do a quick top up on Dublin Port fast charge points. So I'm actually parked on the outside deck, which is not very pleasant, but because the weather is bad, that means that the car will be really disgusting, so you don't want that. Actually, I'm gonna leave the sentry mode on out of curiosity to see if any birds or whatever can trigger it. I think it could be funny. So we'll see tomorrow. There's only 34% battery, and it only works over 20%. So what probably will happen is that sometimes during the night that 20% is just gonna cut off the service. So because Central Mode is using a lot of energy, so pretty sure I'm gonna have 20% tomorrow when I disembark. But yeah, let's see how it gets with this. It could be funny what happens overnight. I'll share the footage if there is anything interesting. So we'll check tomorrow morning what's the battery level and go for a charge in Dublin Port. I'm just in Dublin now. I haven't disembarked yet, still on the deck. So the battery went from 34 down to 25%. So that's the Sentry mode that are on the Teslas. So if you have these cameras running all the time, it just uses quite a lot of energy actually. This was for around 20 hours, so it's something to consider if you want to leave your car for a long period of time, if it's a Tesla Model 3. So with 25%, obviously I don't have enough to get anywhere much outside of Dublin, so I'll drive to the DC charger in the port here, and I'll just get enough to get to Junction 3, and I'll actually stop on the way to the 150 kilowatt in Portlish. I forgot about that one, but I'll stop there. If it's available, I'll charge there. If not, I'll stop in Junction 3. So we are now arriving in Portlaoise, the new petrol station that has the 150 kilowatt DC ESB e-cars charge point. So this one is in the back. And it's really cool because, as you can see on the right hand side just here, this is indicated. See, e-cars charge point. That's great. So as per the app, it's available, and I think it is. I don't see anyone there, so that's great news. So I'm going to charge here, and I'm going to be able to. Oh, where's the entrance? That must be here. I'll be able to drive all the way back to Cork just after that charge, so that's really handy. And because we arrived intentionally with a low state of charge, we'll be able to test the charging speed. We have 8% now left, Dublin with 46. So this is ramping up. Or is it? It looks like it's limited to 45. I'm not sure why. Right, I'm almost all charged up here in Portlaoise. Unfortunately, I couldn't get 150 kilowatt or even 50. So I don't know what's wrong with the charge point, but you know what? It was for electricity, so I did stay anyway and did my stuff. Now, I just want to give you a quick update on the consumption. On the French side, I consumed 15.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So that's 155 watt hours per kilometer. And it turned into over 200 on this side. The reason is rain, crosswinds, and I was driving a bit faster. I'm still gonna do so. I'm probably still gonna use over 20 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers because I drive 120. So yeah, that's about it for the consumption. And then when I'm in Cork, I'm in my 14 days of self-isolation, so I will see you again after that, but you know, this is pre-recorded anyway. You'll see something else. Thanks a lot for watching. See you soon.